Okay.
There we go. Now we're live. Yay, we are here. And people have been waiting because I scheduled this one. So there's been people waiting in the chat, chatting amongst themselves.
Oh, is that a thing?
That's the thing. You can schedule the time. It has a little countdown timer and everything.
Sounds like you're getting very advanced with your live, Stuart. You know what you're doing now.
I'm getting there.
Oh, Jesus, that is an interesting thumbnail.
I thought, let's make Spock smile, and people are reacting, because he's smiling, but it's not like it's a new thing that he's smiled, but
No.
I wanted to make it drastic so that people would notice.
It's great. Alright, shall I... not thumbnail, I'll share.
Yeah, share this around. Let's help. I'll just say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Michael,
Dr.
Matthew,
Stuart.
David, Captain George, Joseph, Raj, Virginia, and everybody else that's here. Thank you very much.
Keep going.
Sorry we took so long. We had a few things to talk about, and then we had an issue with earbuds needed to be found, and we had to realign the plasma injectors and reverse the polarity of the microdyne couplers. And
I was just watching lots of Doctor Who review stuff, so that is a good reference.
cool. And
You're
we
making Doctor Who reference.
yeah.
Okay, good.
No. We're having a problem with the self-stealing stem bolts as well on my computer. I need to get a new bunch, but I don't know where to get them from. So, the man with the beard is Spock. Yes, indeed he is. Hello, first time. Hello, Jim. Welcome. First time seeing us live, so appreciate you joining.
How do we look in all of our liveness? Are we extra shiny? Extra bland?
Extra dad jokey and boring.
Or extra young and exciting and with kid jokes? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, ask Nog and Jake for the stem bolts. Yeah, well, that's what I was getting at. Does anybody have anything that they need to trade? Because I could give you something. I got some little watch batteries here that need to be replaced. They're dead, but you can have them. Anyway. So yes, this was a new trailer that dropped yesterday, actually, later in the day, like a TV spot. It's a short one, which we're just going to talk about for about an hour. We're not going to do the 2-hour thing because it's not really worth it.
Unless you guys just like, oh my god, stay. I'm like, oh god damn it. You want to do other things tonight?
Yes, and Jonathan makes a good point. Now we're going to mention that Spock smiles in the cage, hence the menagerie as well, and Charlie X, and there's the odd smirk here and there from him and both him and his dad in TOS actually. And I got it. I was going to say, in this trailer, it's more like a smirk. It's not really a smile, even though you hear Pike say, "Are you smiling, Spock?" And he says, "Yes."
It might be a Vulcan smile, like the Vulcan hello. It's not actually a particularly smiley smile, except your thumbnail smile, which is obviously a smile. But my first question to you is, do you even care about the beard? Because that was such a humongous thing online the first trailer came out, and it didn't even really occur to me as being a thing.
That doesn't really bother me. The haircut bothers me a little bit. It's a little bit raggedy, but if he hasn't been taking care of himself for a while, that's perfectly understandable. Just like the beginning of the motion picture, he's got that hippie look going on. It'd be cool. It'd be cool if when he shaves it off, he leaves a goatee for a second, looks in the mirror, and is like, "Nah," and takes it off. That would be hilarious.
That would be good. Because I just keep thinking about Cyborg. It's like he's got this big. He's just following after his brother's footsteps, And if you get Tracker Cyborg, that might have been one of his symbols of rebellion after he left the family household. After Burnham absolutely outstretched him.
Yes.
Apparently, in all of his
academic.
Yeah,
a lot of people have been referring to him as hipster Spock for a new millennia. I'm wondering how long this look's going to last him, though. Like a full episode, or is he going to clean up pretty fast? I don't know. Spock with Bieber haircut couldn't be worse. Oh man, don't compare him to Bieber. Ugh.
Honestly, he just looks a bit too young to me. That's my only thing. That's like the only thing I see in that. It's like, well, yeah, he's grown out. He's not coming in Starfleet actively, and he grew a beard. He's not actively on duty.
Yeah, and
but he's a bit young. That's my only thing.
And it's kind of weird casting because, yeah, he does look young, and he doesn't really have that long Spock face with the the creases here, and
The beard does hide it. When he goes classic
bit.
Spock, he might suddenly look better.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the actor do very meh performances. Also, this is supposed to be 10 years prior to the Cage.
No, this
No,
is
post-Cage.
This is 2 years after the Cage.
Yes. Why does everyone keep saying that? It's like they're very clear. 10 years post Kirk.
I don't know.
Never got that. Pay attention, all. They give all the secrets away.
So this is after the Cage. This is after the Cage has happened. So,
which is interesting because if they do link to it directly, then they're definitely confirming Cage is definitely canon. Which means we see the Connie in the Cage. We see the Connie sets in the Cage. So they're double retconning out the Connie being in Cage.
yeah.
But if they're including Spock's emotions in Cage, it's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel your pain.
Yeah, that was a different episode, Stuart. That was the third season. No, let's choose your pain. Damn it.
Anyway, there's not much new in this trailer. I mean, we've seen this all before. The Discovery enters an asteroid field. They talk about warning, collision, and you see the one strike the hull, which a lot of people are hopeful will get rid of the spinny ring, the fidget spinner.
Now we do know that the Discovery looks the same in the future, 10,000 years or 1,000 years.
Yeah.
But its board drive might be removed because those are the top and bottom parts of the ring. The rings themselves don't spin, it's just components on them.
Yeah.
So that could be replaced. It doesn't actually fix the ship style. But we're hopeful that could be refitted back into it.
We are hopeful.
Yeah.
And guys, don't forget about super chats. They are important. I did a live earlier today. Got quite a few good super chats, so I really appreciate
What's
that.
Super chat, Stuart?
I'm just getting into that. It's where they can.
Oh, shut up, Stuart.
It's where they can donate to the channel, and it helps us out in the long run for sure because it keeps us going. And these super chats are really important for that. That's why we supplement our regular videos, which are still on the regular schedule. Nothing's changed. We supplement those with these lives because we get to interact with you guys, and you can help support the channel at the same time. So it's
At this point, we are earning like half our income, like a third or half of our income on super chats. Might seem a bit ridiculous, but we never earned much.
no.
We never earned much. We've been very content with a low income just because this is interesting. We're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And
And Gareth
we hope
just
to
threw
grow,
in.
and these things help.
Gareth just threw in £2. He says, very important, yes. So thank you very much, Gareth. Much appreciated. Now you can pick a super chat reward. That's what I was getting at to next. As a reward for giving a super chat, we have a bunch of great animations done by Samuel. They're all listed there at the top, so you can get to select your number, or say dealer's choice, whatever, and I'll pick one. But there are some
Super
bonus
Chats are
ones that aren't even listed. So
yes, so you can like say bonus 1, bonus 2, and super chats are also awesome because we see a comment straight away as opposed to them going through the lineup. So even for $1, you can get whatever you want heard. That is kind of important, and we always read them out for better or for worse.
I don't think you can comment with $1 though. I think it's $2 is what you can add. Yeah.
Okay.
19, if you please, Stu, says Gareth. Well, you remember Sylvia's live where she calls me Stu. Death by Snoo for Stu.
That's nice.
All right, so here comes number 19. There she is. USS
Sammy
Melbourne.
McIntosh says, have you guys tried Star Trek Fleet Command yet? Nope. Still not out.
I have tried it out, and I played it for maybe 15 minutes and was done because it's.
What did they release it finally?
Nope, not officially. I think it's 3 days left or something, but I have it on my iPad. I've been playing it.
They haven't sent me a link. Okay.
Oh, well, I just got it through the iOS store, so there's no link to follow. I can't send you. You don't have an iOS device, do you?
How did you get it if it's not out?
I don't know. I looked it up in the YouTube store, and it's there, so I downloaded it. That was quite a while ago, actually. Maybe last week or the week before. Yep.
Good.
Oh,
And you stole on 15 minutes.
Joseph puts in €2.
Thank you.
Say hi to Lobos, a friend, first time watching you.
Hello.
Hello, Lobos.
Mr. Lobos.
Didn't see a comment from you. I'll read one if I see one. But thank you, Joseph, as always. Oh, yeah. Damn.
Nigel, USS Voyager, Galactica, and Pegasus versus Silent Base Star Scene, and I'll pony up Trekyard Samuel. Maybe I could do that as a Christmas commission if you really want. Maybe you have to be quite a strong level for that. But you know, maybe email us at trekyards@hotmail.com. Maybe just for you, Nigel.
Gmon78 puts in £5. Thank you very much. £5 is not too heavy. It's just the right amount. I had a question, but my mind went blank. So carry on. All right. Well, like I said, you guys, you get to pick your super chat. So if you do a super chat and you want to pick a reward, you can just put the number in your comment, and I will play the animation for you as well. So,
Gmon, you're a legend among men. I forgot what I was going to say about you.
So we'll carry on.
Yes.
Well, first of all, you'll keep calm, and I'll carry on because you're British, right?
Also, we have a comment from Bob.
Bob.
Blackadder Bob. I'll say it with a big B, Bob. Hey guys, long time viewer. Thanks, Bob. First time live chat contributor. Just letting you know the thumbnail pic terrified my family on my smart TV. So Stuart, you have created nightmares in the Bob household.
I'm sorry. I wanted to do something unique for this one.
You're sorry.
No, I'm not.
Accent it up.
No, I'm not, because I speak this way I speak. I'm sorry, eh? I don't know.
Hey,
So yeah, I wanted to make something unique, so I'm glad I did that. I didn't mean to terrify your family, but you've never seen Spock smile like that before. That's something you'll never forget. That's a Trekyards exclusive right there.
it's only logical.
Why so logical, son?
Or half sister. Well, adopted sister.
Joe Wright puts in $5.
Oh, thanks, Jill.
Spock is 27 here, and Ethan Peck is 32. He looks younger than Nimoy, but is pretty age appropriate.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, some people do look younger, later. I mean, like the Peter Capaldi looks younger than William Hartnell, even though he's years older than William Hartnell. So, things do change a bit. That's good to know. Thank you.
Michael Parker puts in $5 as well.
Michael.
Hey dudes.
Hey.
Dudes. How's it going? Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Well, he's British and I'm Canadian. My Thanksgiving was in October, and they don't do Thanksgiving.
Because it's about you traitors.
Right. But yes, I did have a good Thanksgiving. Thank you. I'm prepared to make a nice.
Did I film with you?
What?
When we do it live.
Yes, we did.
It was lovely.
Yeah. I'm prepared to make a nice super chat donation for my Garrick expose. A Garrick expose, eh? And we need more information about how we would present that. Maybe on the
We've talked about it in
live.
character studies before, so that'd be kind of.
Yes.
It could be the first commission and see if it works or not.
When did this trailer come out? Is it a recent one? Yes, it was just out yesterday. This was the first time I saw it. But speaking of the trailer, I want to move on to this next picture because we got a lot of stuff we've already seen, obviously. But oh my goodness, why is it my computer? I hate you so much sometimes. All right. So Spock is Vulcan.
And also, just before we, I just want to say I will be. We're emailing back people about the Trekyards email for next week. Once I get the green screen stuff finished this week. So I know that people are wondering about that. I will be.
Yes.
Pretty soon. It's just.
And I got to start on some Trekyards originals because Barry Chapman asked me about that, and I'm like, damn, I completely forgot about that.
And his clients.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
We just get into gear before Discovery starts again, because then we'll not have time for anything else. Because Orville, same time.
Well, that's a great note to leave on. So yeah, there's a scene here where Spock's like Vulcan neck pinching people across rooms. I assume he's in an altered state, an altered frame of mind. They just picked him up. He's been taken over
He's on
by
spores, but not the spores from Discovery. He's on the spores from the planet.
Or the Angels. He's on the Angel spores. Because there's those
Drugs
angels,
everywhere.
right? Foley, what was the episode of TOS where? Oh, now my screen went funky. Oh my god! Where Spock smiled and yelled "Jim" when he found out Kirk was not dead.
Yeah, which one was that?
That was Amok time. Yep. He thought Jim was dead. And yep, true story.
Hell of a smile.
And a lot of people I've seen commenting on this, because I was watching Mecha Random last night live, where she recorded her little bit for this, and she's like, "We never saw Spock smile in the TOS, and it was in the cage, and that wasn't released till 1980s. You can't count the cage." And I'm like, I'm typing in the comments, but the Menagerie has the scene where he smiles, and there's other moments where he smiles. So, and she didn't see them, and she kind of went off on, never saw a smiling Spock. We don't want a smiling Spock. That's wrong, but
yeah. Whereas my mental note is that, yes, he was unstable at the first couple because they didn't know whether to take his character fully. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those weird things you sort of ignore. That's why this is actually quite exciting. Now, I said this to my mum earlier today, actually. This Discovery Season 2, how they approach Spock, and we've speculated this is why it's an interesting trailer, could be really, really clever. But that would take faith in the writers, which they proved last season that faith is unwarranted.
Or faith of the heart.
No. He's not warranted by the season writers because they failed last time. It's clever, but it's too clever for them. They tried to be clever with things and it didn't pan out. And that's not, we gave them a full year, didn't we? Until we passed judgment. Mm-hmm. And now we can be hopeful for season 2, but at the same token, it's like, well, yeah, but they've proven, them being clever is not their strong suit. But it could be the unasked for but quite welcome reason for Cage happy and TOS happy, or at least emotional.
Mm-hmm. And it also leads up to his whole purging of all emotion before the motion picture.
Yep.
That would make perfect sense.
Yeah, it's exciting if they do it right, but let's see.
We got another super chat. Gareth Fairclough again, £5. Garrick expose. Oh, good. Keep him covered up. Oh, wait. It's not that kind of expose. Carry on. No, it's not that kind of expose.
I mean, if you pay the actor enough, he might sign a waiver that lets you do whatever.
Speaking, and on that note, we'll change the subject. David Bessig puts in $2. I'm so worried about how Spock heavy the plot seems. Well, yeah, we heard early people were concerned that Pike and the Enterprise are there, that it's going to be heavy with them. I'm not sure. Like I said, we're not sure if this is a season arc or if this is like a 4-episode arc. I'd kind of like it to be a 4 or 5-episode arc, and then the rest of the season be something different.
Well, we also have the unique thing of they changed showrunner after 6 episodes because they blew the budget. So they might have said, well, crap, we've got to now change course and, close that up quicker. So imagine if the direction they planned was so expensive based on the first 6, they said, yeah, we can't even do that. I mean, I liked Enterprise being 4-episode arcs in the final season. Give you enough time to develop, closed up, you had another good 4 episodes. Or not. If it was bad, you moved on. But again, I still think the Angels will be because again, a full season you can have a really intricate arc, but you still need the episode 1, 2, the one-offs as well. Well, the 2-offs, because it could just be takes a whole season to find Spock. But the fact that we're seeing this one still of the interrogation, healing, whatever room, this blew me away a bit with context because they've filmed the entire season pretty much now. Okay, fine, but this seems odd they would show this because this gives away they find him. This will be a weird discovery, Bale. I'm not discounting it, but if this was episode 9 of 10, it shouldn't be in season 1, trailer 2.
Yeah.
So it does imply to me now it's a lot sooner than you think. Is it more of a payoff to you as a fan of Star Trek to have them have Spock for a good 4 episodes as a primary character, or to only have him at the last 3 as the payoff, and then leave? I mean, at the end of his be a full character for 3 episodes and then leave. Like, what would be a better payoff for you?
Early on, like I said, I'd like to see this done after 4 or 5 episodes, and then Enterprise, Pike, and Spock move on. I think that's the way to do it, and bring them in probably episode 2, halfway through or at the end, and then
so find him easily then.
Yeah. I don't want it to be like a season-long arc to find him and then have him appear in the last episode, and that's what we're seeing here. It's like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah, my bet is still mid-season he'll be revealed, They find him after they're behind him every step of the way, and they catch up to him finally. Then he gives a reveal to what the Angels might be, and then it leads on to season 2. The second half, and the second half, then the Klingons come involved because they've also been tracking it, and then they unify in their seeking. And one thing someone noted is that look at the door in this scene.
I was just going to say that. One of the first things I noticed when I looked at this still earlier was, that looks very Voyager-esque, very much like an Intrepid class, and people have been saying that. So yeah,
good looking door. I mean, this is when, if they were clever with continuity, they would actually have different ships and different badges, because then you could tell what ship this was by its different badge, or because we have no idea what ship this is, or a station. It's no difference. This could be anybody. If this was
exactly,
kind of fun if it was. Which badge is that? I don't know. Because it's Starfleet Medical Base 87. I don't know. Do you think? Okay, well, make a bet now. Do you think it's a Discovery? Random nurse number 2 that gets whatevered? Or is it a base?
I want to say no. I want to say it's a starbase or something. But considering that I think they're taking Discovery because the red anomalies are like 35,000 light years away or something, I think it might be Discovery. Might be like a isolation ward off of the main sick bay or something. I don't want it to be that because the style doesn't work. If it's a new modern starbase, kind of like the next, I think that would work better. But I don't know how they would get into a starbase. I don't know. I expect them to wake up on Discovery after they recover. I'm not like weeks later.
Or this could be a bay on the Enterprise.
Oh, please don't make that the Enterprise.
Oh, well, no, different uniforms, I guess. There'd be wrong uniforms. Sort of, maybe.
Meh.
Yeah. I just really think everyone now should, they should really make everyone in Starfleet now wear the TOS ones except Discovery crew if they need to. If you see an off-world base, it should now be wearing TOS. Or at the end of the season, everyone wears TOS. That'd be a strong payoff. And then the last...
Gareth just said in the chat too, well, padded walls make sense for an isolation room. Yeah, or like a crazy room. Padded walls and a straitjacket, which looks like he needs because I think she flies across the room after he does this Vulcan neck pinch to her, so... Oh
yeah, the context is clear here. It's interesting then if maybe... I mean, we've seen how Trillium D erodes the ability of Vulcans to control their emotions, so it'd be interesting if we do take this well, maybe not for Star Trek fans, but this once proud character, and whatever's happening galactically is forcing the loss of emotional control. And then he has to colonar purely by necessity. Maybe he half colonars and then goes back to Starfleet because it's another emergency. Or like Sarek lets him... Well, no, I guess he can't see Sarek, can he? Maybe goes to an extreme, a real extreme, which is disconcerting for all. And then it's like, well, why are you doing it for the character? But then if you then at the end brought him back to where we know him... I know, would you want to see him be an extreme if it's plotly important?
Yep, I think it'd be cool if when he wakes up, he doesn't know where he is, and he's violent, and then the next scene is where Pike says, "Are you smiling, Spock?" And he's like, "Yes." So it could be like all over the place emotionally for some reason because he had contact with something. I don't have a problem with that because he is half human after all. We got to remember that. I just want to address a super chat first. Adam Boots puts in £2.
Thank you, Adam. Says, best currency.
Guard in the pic. This ain't got nothing to do with me. In that last picture, the guard's just kind of looking. And he also wants animation number 3, so I'm going to do that right now.
Ooh, which one's that?
It's this one.
The delay will make this a very interesting part of the conversation.
Yes.
Someone again says Spock with a beard. What?
What?
So again,
what?
That didn't phase me.
It happens when you don't shave.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen at some point we've seen what's his name, Tuvok shave, so they have to shave. It's not really a concern. It's just a way of making him different, which is important because he's obviously being different. You wouldn't, besides Kolnar, you wouldn't think much that Nimoy would run away from everything for. That's a pretty hefty thing to do.
So yeah, Pike looks very old here too. He's got a lot of gray in his hair, more than Russell than I think when we first saw
I
him.
did, I did see that as well.
He's wearing Discovery uniform as well. And look at the emblem on the wall behind him. It's a delta with different colors. Again, I think that might be somewhere different than Discovery.
That's why I made sure to get still this last bit because this is the only indication of where, why, how this talk is happening. Because it could be at the end of the season after some time. Maybe they could do a time jump. Maybe they have the first 6 episodes is this very powerful arc, and then it time jumps like 3 years, 2 years, and then Pike is at the end of his tenure, and then Spock comes back. I mean, to command. I don't know.
And the one thing I like about this story arc that might be good is you can see the relationship.
The one thing that might be good.
You can see the relationship between Pike and Spock, which is nice here. And it could be that Pike literally saves Spock's life. So later in the menagerie, Spock feels like this is his life debt. He owes it to Pike to repay this favor that happens in Discovery. I think that might be the case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pike is an untapped resource.
Yes.
He's a very simple character premise, but he's got a lot of respect and a lot of the fact that he got to be the Enterprise captain. That's pretty impressive. There's only 12 Enterprise, I guess Enterprise class they were at the start before they changed it. Enterprise class, ships or whatever. Well, Starship class, I guess Enterprise was after the fact, but it's a pretty hefty position to be in. Certainly better than Giorgio was, who was an old Walker class by the time it was already old.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly not one of the higher ups.
But she was one of the legendary captains that was listed in the last episode
Yep.
of Discovery that we watched.
Yep.
Speaking of, we're going to be doing our Discovery rewatches tomorrow and Thursday, episodes 7 and 8, and then maybe Sunday, episode 9. So tune back in for those. We're going to see how things work schedule-wise, but...
And then how many? There are 15 out there in season 1?
15, yes. So
we'll burn through all the last non-Mirror Universe ones, and then maybe do all the Mirror Universe, I guess, in the last batch. Oof. I still want to look through the behind the scenes of the Blu-ray and then start, talking to them with you and dissecting. I mean, have you got your disc yet?
I do not. I have not purchased it yet. I'm expecting somebody to give it to me for Christmas. So it'll be after Christmas that I get it.
Okay, I'll be the bringer of news. See, it arrived. It's in my room, but we lost the Blu-ray player remote.
I think your dad just hates Discovery so much that he lost the Blu-ray player remote.
It's a 4K Blu-ray player remote as well, because I wanted to buy it for 4K Blu-ray, so we got 4K TV this year. But literally from 2 p.m. I had it, because I changed the channel, and then when I changed it again at 4, I don't know.
Maybe it's future Samuel or future Captain Foley going back in time and taking the remote so you don't watch it for some particular reason.
It's the Back to the Future where when we cut back to me in the future, it'll then be, or you in the future, it'll then be this version of two of us. And okay.
Ian Warrender puts in £5.
So kind.
Alice in Wonderland parallels. Spock goes after the White Rabbit. Angels and Spock fall down the sanity hole and needs to journey to get out. That I like, because that ties in beautifully with the whole Alice in Wonderland theme that was laced through season 1 with the book and the story that Amanda told Michael Burnham and Spock. No mention of Sybok, but that's okay.
I was about to ask, how much do you want to bet they're going to mention Sybok?
There's got to be a mention of it here. There definitely does. Because
every
Discovery
time
would do that.
Every time you mention like one of your brothers, you tend to mention them both in the same breath. Oh yeah, well one of my brothers isn't one. It's like it's a package deal thing.
Yeah, like my oldest brother Steve. Implying that there's another one, and there is.
Yeah.
Gareth Fairclough puts in another £10. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Guys, what do you think of the trend of making everything more epic and universe shattering with greater and greater crises? Do you think a series with a smaller scope of setting would be better? Yeah, because I think the smaller scope of setting opens up to that episodic feel of TNG and TOS. The way they do things here with the season-wide arcs, they seem very as you said, very epic. It's different storytelling. It's not episodic. I do like the episodic approach, the smaller stories, with an overarching story in the background, but kind of an episodic feel. Didn't get that with Discovery Season 1. I don't know what this is going to involve, but I have a feeling it's going to be one of those epic story arcs again. So,
I mean, it is worth remembering that in TOS and some like little gripes, every other week they have this is the strongest metal ever made, and then the ship can now go warp 27. So they do often do these epic nature things, or we lost all the crew, or there are a few of those things. TOS has them, but we know they've learned mistakes, and they did say it's more episodic as well. That's why having it be this long arc, because obviously Season 1 they had the Mirror Universe arc, but then they pushed it episodes ahead, and then that means they had to do filler. So if it had been a full season, it probably would have ended up better pacing-wise. So they have a full arc, but they have to do episodic stuff to get to the big arc. That's why I think a slow approach will work well with this, where Spock is just, I guess, the key to the story, but he's so difficult to find because he's Spock that it takes you 8 episodes. But it's just like the Xindi. The first 7 of the Xindi seasons. I mean, yes, you get both as a story, you get whatever, but you're not actually dealing with the Xindi problem until way later in the season, because you have to build to it. We have single episodes as well,
Yeah. David Bessick puts in $5.
Oh, thank you.
They never ended over epic creep of universe ending parallels happening every other year in the old Star Wars expanded universe post.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi books had.
Yeah, that's just narrative. It's like Doctor Who. I mean, he's 100 years old, but every day isn't him fighting a monster. You only see the interesting stories.
Mm.
I mean, look at TNG. They're not under attack all the time. They're not dealing with disease all the time. It's just you only see 22 days out of year, so they're very not under threat.
Everybody keeps saying the thumbnail is terrifying. I'm sorry, guys.
It's a wonderfully terrifying thumbnail, though. Yeah, if you go to this last image, at the wherever they are, there is nothing to go on except the sense it is Starfleet, it is Federation. I'm assuming base. I think it could be Earth. They could take them back to debrief. Because again, if they, I'm assuming they got the Discovery to use the spore drive if they need it. So you can imagine that at one point they have to just jump back to Earth as a emergency thing. This could be one of those like.
Could also be a Starfleet base on Vulcan, because they were headed to Vulcan initially. Remember that Spock's father's on board, so they got to get him back. They got to pick up their new captain. I don't know. It just seems very bright. It feels very starbasey or hospital-y.
Well, hospital. I mean, that could be a literal cut from the last scene.
Yeah. I have a feeling. I have a feeling that it's not going to last 4 or 5 episodes. I think it's going to be a season-wide arc, and it's going to be this or L'Rell and the Klingon arc. There's going to be one or the other throughout the whole thing to break it up, and I don't know if I like that so much.
What's nice is that because Tyler is human now, they're probably going to speak English. I mean, he can speak Klingon, but that's probably a partial reason to have him there, because speaking English. And then if you want, just like we've said before, if she's, and not to, I guess jump to the Rel arc, but obviously we know in Star Trek 3 they speak English and Klingon because English is higher up language because you've got to actually learn it.
Yeah, only the higher officers knew English, so they could speak in front of their crews without giving anything away. Yeah.
Which when you watch Star Trek 3 with that inflection in mind, it changes the scenes a little bit. It's like, oh, this is multi-layered. It's not just for the audience. So now you've got that as the double excuse for why L'Rell speaks English most of the season, because she's conspiratorially talking to Tyler. Actually works really well, and so that allows the actress to actually have a English predominant season, which would be good for everyone involved. Because you do need to have a sense of both empires doing stuff, or do you not care what happens to the Klingons and we can skip past their reunification and going straight to, okay, what's their this season arc, or do you want to see some of their reunification stuff? Do you want to see you know.
I do want to see it, and I want to see it done properly, as we've talked about many times. You can include all the casts of Klingons, the smooth-headed ones and whatnot. Plus, we get the D7 to look forward to, rebuilding or the building of the KDF, the Klingon Defense Force. There's a lot of interesting stuff there if they do it properly. I don't want to be bored, and there were a few times during that first season that it was just boring, especially during the first few episodes on the Klingon ship. A lot of it was, I was very taken out of it by having to read the text and the really bad Klingon. Listen to that. I got taken out of the narrative. I was very bored, and I don't want that to be the case this time.
Now, you can imagine if that was Martok and Gowron, you'd be just enjoying the moments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that episode where they go to the Garrock station, the super special amazing place where the Klingons and Gowron go in DS9, and they make all the crew, the DS9 crew, in Klingon makeup, and it's just almost a fully Klingon episode. It's a really interesting episode. Being in the culture. It's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was fun.
Yeah.
And yet you spend an entire episode on a Klingon ship, and you're like, oh. It lost all that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But I do think we're probably going to not have L'Rell for the first 2 episodes. They'll mimic season 1 by having it be like a soft reboot of the plot.
Now, do you think...
Yep.
Do you think jumping off with the first episode, they're going to start with this moment, Discovery and Enterprise face to face, or do you think they're going to start with something completely different and come back to that? I think that's the way to start, right there. Have a shuttle coming over, or seeing they're going to beam, obviously.
Well, no, we saw Cornwall took a shuttle for no reason.
Yeah, but we also saw in the last trailer Pike beaming in with the...
Also true.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back on season 1, so...
No, that's okay.
I'm back on the stupidity stuff.
So I think that's where they should start it, and just continue from where they left off. But I have a feeling they might start somewhere else, like on Kronos with L'Rell, and then get into that like later, which would kind of annoy me, I gotta say, because that was a good cliffhanger to end on. You need to... It's like... best of both worlds. You need to start where you finished to make that, you know?
Well, it could go either way. Either you could be literally the same second, and obviously the context where we saw it the first time was, oh my god, it's the Enterprise. With the second time around, it's like, what are they going to do now? Let's see. You know, I mean, it's a very, very different feel for the same exact scene. If anything, go back a few seconds and replay the last scene, but they keep the camera going. You know, they say, oh, either requesting to beam over or they're hailing. If they're hailing, you have a CGI'd TOS Connie reboot bridge, but looks very similar. And that's the only time you ever see it is via a view screen. That's it. Never back to it, and that's enough. You know, because all you'd see is the consoles behind him that are familiar, but you know, it's not offensive. I guess is the way of saying it. And then he just says beam over, and boom, you progress into their walk and talk, which we know goes throughout the ship. Or you could do something a bit more interesting. I like the idea of starting at 0. You could actually have starting at like the mid-season point, and you have Spock facing something, and Burnham and Spock are together, and she's like, "No, Spock, don't go with them," and like everything starts exploding around them, and then you see, I know, either Discovery, maybe they're standing on Discovery's hull for some reason. Let's make it really epic, and you just see Discovery start exploding around them, and then she's the last one to survive, and then she disintegrates with the ship. It fades to black, and then it cuts to that. And it's like, oh shit, okay. Okay.
Well, I hope they don't do that, because I don't like that idea.
Ah, okay. But it's dramatic.
Maybe it'll start off with this scene right here with Spock like, "Are you smiling, Spock?" "Yes." And start right there.
Roll credits.
And then it's flashback 6 months later, or 6 months earlier.
Or it starts with the touch of the cage. It says 2 years later. Actually, how cool would that be if it actually started with the end of Menagerie? Because if the thingy Bobby's explosion is going to be in it, how cool would it to be just to recreate the last moments of... Well, if this was Enterprise, they'd faithfully recreate the cage set, recreate the costumes, recreate the boulder in CG, do it. That'd be so cool. But how cool would it be to do that and say 2 years later, cut to Cade. So actually do it from the Enterprise point of view. So you go from their last mission, maybe be on board the Enterprise, be on the bridge, as if you're doing it properly. We're like, oh my god, the classic bridge, yay! And then, 2 years later, and then you see Pike maybe say to one of the communications officers, Spock's coming back by now. Yeah, he's 8 hours overdue. And then you hear a message saying, I'm not coming back, sir. I need to find something. And you swap perspectives, but then it wouldn't be Discovery anymore. It'd be, Enterprise Pilot Cage Season 2.0. Which again, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with, especially if they did it interestingly.
One thing that would be interesting, too, is when he beams over to Discovery, he's going to meet Spock's father. He's going to meet Michael Burnham.
Yes.
It'd be funny if something was said by Spock's father. It's like, something about Spock's sister, and he looks at Spock's father and says, he never told me he had a sister.
Yep.
Or I knew about a half-brother, but not a sister. Something like that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, because all you have to do is, because you could tell they were close in the cage in some respect. So yeah, if Pike didn't know, although that said, Pike was part of the war for the last year, and he knew who Michael Burnham was because everyone knew who Michael Burnham was and Picture. And you'd think one of the captains of the 12 colonies would actually care to research who the mutineer was at the start of the war, and it's like, oh damn, it's the sister of Spock, and then say, Spock, yes, Captain. Your sister's declared war. What? And so that probably doesn't fly. It would work if we went from Cage to this, but there was Discovery in the way.
I'm sure Spock is like, I'm glad I don't tell anybody about my siblings because they're both morons. So Burnham started the war, so I'm glad nobody knows that she's my sister.
And even though he's the one that should make the dad proudest, Dad doesn't speak to him for years and years. After all that, still doesn't speak to him.
Yeah. Raj says you think Cyborg knows Michael.
Cyborg was first. Cyborg was in the house. Yeah, we worked out the timelines, and yeah, they probably knew each other for about 7 or 8 years in the same house.
Yeah.
Except they confirmed this is now before the cage. No, it's not. It's after the cage.
Yes. Definitely.
They can't change dates like that. Doesn't quite work.
Ooh, look who showed up. /.121 puts in £1.99. Getting a moobs show tonight? ? Come on, don't be shy. I'm never shy. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not shy. But I think the thumbnail is terrifying enough for everyone here. Why does it say rest in peace stream? Everything looks good on my end. Is it still streaming on your end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I still hear us though?
I assume so. I haven't said it.
No, you're saying things just fine.
Cool.
After the mutiny and Lorca being exposed as an imposter, Mike would likely discharged from Starfleet. Why? I mean, she got re-put into Starfleet, but also she was the one in Kronos that helped save the war. You'd think that also the Admiral knows her, and I think she did enough to. I mean, come on, Spock. If Kirk can go from obviously being court-martialed to saving the Earth and therefore getting his ship back, I think Burnham helping to save the entire Federation and stop a war, she'll get her commission back. I think that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, no, we did see it happen because she's in the end of season 1, so we did see it happen.
Yes. So hi /.dash. He just thought he'd say hello anyways. So hello.
Hello.
Likely just a wobble than a dead stream. Well, everything seemed fine on my end.
Yeah.
So I hate when I see comments like that because I'm like, have they heard the last 3 minutes what we've been saying? Don't forget, guys, when you do super chats, you can pick an animation. So you let me know.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do. No, it's a funny old thing. I still like if they do. It's sad if this was Enterprise, and they decided to do Spock. I don't know how they would, but if it's the same team, then they could build the Connie Bridge correctly for the future scenes. They redress it to film past scenes, build both uniforms, and yet have their own pre-TOS costume, which would be some interesting variation. And so with one budget, they would be able to have, future, present, and past. And they could do a Spock story arc really coolly. But the way Discovery's going, you can't show the Connie Bridge, you can't show Cage, because both they're going to
But you
retcon
can.
what they do.
Yeah, you'll show them and say they're prime. Just move forward, guys. That's what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Captain George, I've been looking for the new trailer on YouTube, but can't find it. Do you by any chance have a link for it?
Yes.
Samuel does, and he will post
Here's
it
the link for it.
in the chat.
Silent Pro explains how they blew the budget on those first few episodes. I bet it's just too much CG. I bet it's just ambitious. I mean, those space things seem quite nice. Lots of effect. Because lots of effect in because you can build space shots in a vacuum, literally and figuratively, because everything is created digitally. Whereas if you have a practical set and have to blow stuff up digitally and have drones, and then that adds complication. You got to track it. You got to do stuff. It takes longer, especially at a professional movie level quality. Space is a little easier to do.
Yeah.
Now we didn't talk about it directly, even though we talked about it directly. Was the Laurel dance video? I thought it was the best bit of Discovery marketing they ever did.
Yeah.
And we did see Tyler in costume with the same length of hair that he was when I saw him. Who wants proof I've met Vok? Then I can show you proof I've met Vok. I say I met Vok because he's wearing the correct amount of hair, so it's so it must be true. Just have to Photoshop a costume on him. There's a damn picture. Wait, did I get with him?
What?
No, I didn't actually. It was a call. Yeah, I did. No, I did. I was hallucinating. See, I did meet him, and then everyone can work out.
It's a great pose.
I said, do a Klingon pose. Be Vok. And he was like, okay. He did that. And I'm like, rrr. So this is his canon haircut for one of the episodes. Basically the later ones.
Nice.
Which probably is the ones they filmed as part of the Laurel dance video. Which I just want to note there. But what do you think that means then for the wider arc if he's in uniform? Because at what point is he more Klingon than human to be put back in uniform? I don't know. So obviously it's the end of the season, but what do you think the vibe is for that?
Some kind of joint exchange program. He's basically Tyler Vok, a human, and if we're having peaceful relationships, kind of Cold War style, with the Klingons, have him aboard just to kind of be like a special envoy, some kind of ambassador almost, in direct communication with the head of the council, which would be Laurel, to kind of keep things in line. I don't know. It's almost like welcoming a spy aboard your ship in that case, because you can't really trust him, I don't think. That's tough. I don't know why they put him back in the Discovery uniform. That kind of confused me when I saw that.
Yeah, I mean it does. I think you're right. He's a logical envoy because he was, especially if Burnham is second in command of Discovery, sort of, not really, but she's a lead character. So she has enough power to say no, everyone. And didn't Tyler Vok get Saru to forgive him? Wasn't that a thing?
Yes.
I remember that being maybe a thing.
Yeah, I think so.
And so, if he came back, the Discovery crew personally would most likely trust him enough. So if you want to have an envoy, for Laurel to say, "Hey, we need to do this together," you'd send Vok.
Yeah, well, Jill Wright says, "Why would maybe put the uniform in and mess with us? Why would an envoy be wearing a Starfleet uniform?" Because I don't think the majority of the crew would know that was actually a Klingon. I think that would be very withheld to the upper ranks. So if he wanted him to join the crew back, he'd wear a Starfleet uniform saying he's back now or something. That'd be my guess.
You assume gossip would spread like wildfire? It's only 140 people. It's not a very big crew. I mean,
true.
Voyager was a smaller, that was about the same size crew, and they had gossip. Whatever.
Yeah, until he can't keep her mouth shut.
since they have 100 or 500 scientific things, you can imagine they're all sharing departments with each other because everyone's doing 4 science at the same time. And so they're all just like, have you heard? One of our crew members is actually a Klingon. What? And he killed our doctor. What? He loves Burnham. What? And he's, you know.
Slash.dash puts in 79.79 pounds. I don't know how you'd say
that's
that.
basically that's $1.
$1, like American dollar.
That would be the equivalent, yes.
David Bessig puts in $2. Sorry, I have to go. Great stream, guys. Love these. Well, thank you, David.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day or night, and thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Discovery uniform reminds me of pajamas. Kind of cool if they sold them as pajamas. I can see them selling them as pajamas.
As for scale, it's never been spoken about on screen, so I guess you have to ignore what CBS even wants to put on the front of their magazines. That's a funny old thing, because there is scale information on screen, because when we load up a 3D model, it's built to scale. The scale's told to the CG guys by the production team, who decide the scale before they finish it. That's what happens. But then that does change. I mean, you've also done a ton of wrong scales. For example, Alice can't be the size it says it is, because you can't fit a person inside the ship at the scale they said it is. They didn't measure the size of the ship in the show because they don't tend to do that. They get it from someone else, and those are often not based on other things. So, it's a tricky thing. That's why I've stopped. For a little while we used Eaglemoss before we got the models because they seem to be legit. But when they do stuff that makes no sense, you kind of put the whole thing to, But then there's things like the 9472, the Wall 359 ship. It's like, well, there's no information. All you can tell is it's kit bash TNG. You can probably work it out, I guess, but you might as well use those for information because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
But then you got things like the Akira, the 6 different scales. I mean, it's just. That's why I try and use the first thing that was ever used with, like if it was first kind of Prussian scale. This is what they designed it to be. That should be the scale in my mind because that's what they designed it to be. It's like Matt Jeffries knew the scale of the Enterprise. He worked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be said on screen, but he knew it.
And Captain George, see ya. Thank you very much for joining us and moderating. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, sir.
And David Bessick puts in another $2 and says, also, Commander, I sent Trekyards an email.
Check it right now.
And while you're doing that, I'll do a flyby of the Foley. And people have been asking me about the Bizarre caps. They're just not on yet because I have to paint all that detail in there. So I also got to put the deflector sensor things on. But yeah, there's the Foley class, guys. I got that song stuck in my head. So yeah, more Foley class videos will be on the way. I love this model. It's awesome. Peace and long life, as Sarek would say. Live long and prosper isn't something he'd say, but he says it in disco, kinda odd. So what's the email? Should you share it or no?
Oh, it's just he wants to do an original on Ashby's designed.
Yeah, I gotta get working on those original scripts. We need to film those before Discovery starts.
Yeah, we have like 5 people that are waiting, but when you have literally minus time, it's kind of tricky.
Just know they're in the queue. They're not going anywhere. They will get done. Speaking of, I hate to ask you this on live, but when is the Saladin being aired? Is that this Saturday?
I guess this week, yeah. If we finish the Borg too, so yeah, I guess so.
Have you made the changes?
Not remotely.
But you still have them in the editing
haven't even
feed.
Opened the box because now it still counts as unread.
Perfect.
Which means I know where the box is.
Okay. Because I went through and made some editing changes, added some pictures to really make it good, and he's got to go in and change the edit. So it's coming. Nobody asked about it yet, but that's good. My super chats are being censored. Well, they're not.
Who said that?
/.-121.
Oh. I don't think you can censor them.
No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Saladin. Well, there you go. Look over this. Maybe this Saturday, I think, is when it's coming out.
It's not this. It's been ever like delayed. It's just it wasn't worth releasing early because earns more money at the end of the year and
Oh,
took a while to make.
there's slash.dash121 again. £1.99.
Thank you.
More moobs, more shekels. What's a shekel?
Shekel is Jewish money, I think. Isn't it in a Merchant of Venice? They offer shekels. The dude's heart, isn't that a thing? I feel like that's...
No
Shekel's
idea.
money. It's absolutely money. It's not shackles. Shackles is a...
Yeah, I said shekels.
Yeah, that's a money, I think. It's money from that time in Venice, I think. I'm an
Sure.
expert on Star Trek, people say, not on currency from around the world.
Right? Except for Quatlus and things like that.
But there is no money in the 24th century.
Except for when there is, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Me and Sylvia were having this discussion the other night.
I bought a boat! Bought, Scotty? Bought?
Even
Or
in
to
the
be
future,
fair-
boat means the same thing. Break out another 1,000. It's expensive to own a boat.
Although it's true though, if you were in this future and you could get a Syntha version from legal people, or go Ferengi and get a real version, you know what I mean? Would you want a boat replicated, or would you want, or if you just went to a Ferengi and just bought a real boat, would you want a real wood boat handcrafted, or real booze handmade? You know?
Well, they seem to like the handmade artisan stuff because that's what people do now on Earth because they don't have to earn money. They can, do their trade as they see fit. So it's not like you have to show up for work. If you craft something, it's because you really enjoy doing that. So
Yeah.
they seem to like their antiques and their handcrafted stuff. Roberto Soares puts in $5. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm
Very kind.
sure Spock's smile will connect to his personality in the cage. Yeah, I think so, and I think that's why later in TOS he's a little more stern. Something happens here that purges him of some of that emotion, I think, or helps him control it a little bit better.
Which is great. That's exciting.
Yeah.
But again, it's interesting to then make those things canon because it creates more issues. Like, I'd almost be okay if they retconned out Cage and said all of Menagerie was just a fake illusion. I mean, it was a sent message by the Telosians, so it could be faked. Probably could have been smarter because if they'd actually been clever and made a pre-TOS, which then evolves into TOS, which this can't do, then they could have had that link into it, and just say, okay, Cage isn't canon.
But
This is replacing canon Cage.
at the beginning of the Menagerie, Spock says, the adventure you're seeing happened 13 years ago. This is exactly how it was on the bridge, and blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's
So-
what I mean, though, is that there's a Telosian trick. Slash, you just then remaster the episode and add in, refilm the episode from their point of view. I know. Doesn't it just seem weird that Telosian's coming back at all?
Yes. Yes, it does.
And that's been confirmed. Because they've got such a wrapped up story. You know? Even to the point that the Menagerie was not needed, really. You can go.
Well, the Menagerie saved Star Trek because they were running out of budget and time, so they used the footage from the pilot to make 2 episodes, which bought them the time they needed to finish the season.
Or is it a big budget episode by doing that? It's like, wow, look at all these new sets, new costumes.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly, yeah. It was very cleverly done. It was like the first clip show, I guess.
Yeah. It's like they made a whole new show with 0 budget. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny that.
Gareth says, hey, who said the Telosians are coming back?
The writer-producer guy that's Kurtzman. So, the guy.
And while they're at it, I mean, the Metrons are back too, probably from Arena, and let's see, what else? Trelane, he's back, probably.
Well, Terrain could be fun. Having a pre-Q again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially if they then made a retcon episode where he's actually a Q. That'd be cool. I'd watch an episode like that.
Yeah. I would be down for that as well.
Yeah.
First I've heard of that, says Gareth. Nope, it's legit.
There you go. I'm not sure, Sam. I think Disco could evolve into TOS with some small modernisation, so aesthetics of TOS, there are always possibilities. Yeah, but it's like with the Klingons. We design things are not We design Klingons and you tell the designers not to design Klingon ships, and it kind of makes it a problem. So we design a bridge and say, don't look at TOS bridge and just do your own bridge. It kind of takes away the evolutionary bits. So there's a still on the Blu-rays of the actual sets, Discovery and Shinjo bridge. Turns out not the same bridge, which is not what I remember saying originally, whether they just re-kit bash to save money. I guess they just use the same design to kit bash money, which seems odd to me, given they look so similar. And when we said, okay, Discovery is a chance for them to look more canon, and they didn't.
Somebody said, is Trelane confirmed back? Cool. And no, he's not.
No, I said it'd be cool. So it makes sense he's a Q. That makes so much sense, it's unreal. And that's why a book was made with that as a thing. But no. But I mean, if they're gently soft rebooting, canoning, like Spock's reason for, like, number one, having a part... I don't know, that would be an obvious one to have a cool story with.
Well, guys, it's been an hour. We've kind of talked this to death, but as we can do. But I think we should probably get going, because
yes,
we got to do it live tomorrow, which will be 2 hours likely, and then
yes,
Thursday 2 hours, and
we do them for you guys. They take time, effort, and parts of our soul, but we do them for you.
Night Wingnum 1. Kill Kurtzman. He effed up Transformers and Star Trek. Yes, two of my favorite things. I'm not a huge Kurtzman fan, just so you know.
He doesn't make good stuff. I mean, you're a fan of people that make good work. It's. I mean, what was the? I mean, name a song in recent memory that normally makes good things. They made an absolute bomb. Okay, Will Smith, right? Almost all his films are good, and they made the Wild West one,
which I enjoyed, but it wasn't a great reimagining of the original show.
And I've also actually not seen it.
But I kind of enjoy Wild Wild West.
It's like Batman and Robin. You take it from its proper context of it's a joke. You enjoy it for what it is, you know.
Oh,
I guess if I finally watch that and see, it's not trying to be a serious film. It's meant to be a spoof film. Then probably enjoy it.
/.-121 puts in £5.
Oh,
Sorry, Traps. I got work in the morning. Here's some more shekels. Brooklyn 99 knows the score. Moobs. Shekels are Jewish currency. Somebody confirmed that. So
that's my English. That's my English literature course at university. Of school, just high school. I feel proud of that.
Yeah.
It was a good play. I think Much of Us is a good play. I liked it. It was good.
Wild West is bland, okay to have in the background while cooking dinner. I just love it. It's a good action. There's lots of nice cleavage in it. I gotta say, there's some nice female-y costumes. It's got its good points. It's not a, award-winning movie by any means, but it's enjoyable to watch, and that's what I want from a movie. I want it to take me out of my real life for 2 hours, and that's what this one does, because it's so ridiculous. And
but I mean, people can make bad things, but when someone's made mostly bad things, and it's like, oh. Like, as Kurtzman's like, oh, pretty bad record of things. Yeah.
I guess we got in trouble from Bob. He says it's Israeli currency, not quote-unquote Jewish currency. Sorry, we didn't mean to offend anyone, but...
Like, because I only know it from a novel play that was like 1600s or something, so that's my only context. I think it did very well.
Anyway, guys, I think we're going to call it quits for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. And everyone that came and chatted in the chat, thank you. Also, if you super chatted, again, a double thank you. That's just awesome.
You are super. Literatively
You're
and figuratively.
Super chaps. That's kind of sexist. Super...
Chap and chapettes.
Chapettes, yes. That's what you are. Thank you very much to everyone.
Super chatteroonies, which could be either.
Captain Cleavage of the USS Lady Lumps. Yes, we'll leave it on that. That's a good note to end on. Good night, guys. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Same Trekyards time, same Trekyards station.
For what might be my favourite Discovery episode. So I decided to rewatch it.
Which one is it? Ooh.
Time Loop.
That'll be a good one, yes.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Bye.